Hello and welcome to Green Candle Network. This is our inaugural episode. As always, we want to start with that this is not financial advice. Do your own research. Please see the disclaimer in the channel description. We're here trying to build a serious DGen community platform for like minded individuals who enjoy following the markets and rolling the dice. Um, we always welcome all comments below. We do read them, good or bad, or just funny. And as always, dad jokes are welcomed. Today is Friday, June 6, 2025. Big report came out from LULU. Stocks down dramatically, 20%. Obviously, the tariffs were hurting. Canada and Trump going at it. Obviously, that hurts anything coming in from Canada or the prospects of things coming in from Canada. On the good side, the PE is still kind of affordable for a retail stock. Let's get into the chart and take a look at what's happened since earnings has posted. Clearly, it's a terrible setup. We are well below the 100-day 50 moving average, which is at 336. Stock closed at 265. Here we like to use the 150-day moving average as our barometer. A lot of people like to use the 200-day moving average. We kind of come from the school of Carter Worth, where the 150-day is usually met more and tested more on the upside and the downside. As you can tell, it's literally sitting at the 150-day moving average right at the earnings report date. So that's why we tend to look at it. Obviously, we fell below the 150-day moving average on this report. That means we're clearly in bearish territory. It did drift outside of the bands. As you know, stocks do not tend to stay outside of these bands for long. It's sitting well below it. Back in December was a time when it had left the bands, and it clearly will quickly dribble back into the bands in correction. And we may see that now with Lulu. We may see a movement back to the bands. I think the bands are going to kind of catch up with where the stock is at now. I think we're going to kind of drift sideways and lower. Clearly, if you look at some support levels here, let's take a look at some support. First level of support, I think, is coming in this range right here, which is the 246 range. We're sitting at 265. That's 20 points to the downside, another possible 8%. Something to keep in mind as well. The RSI is down, but not really all the way down. We're still sitting at 34. Plenty of room on the downside to the RSI. As you can see in the past, the RSI has nipped the 20s. It's not uncommon. So, in our interpretation here at the Green Candle Network, we're thinking that Lululemon's going lower. And with that in mind, we would probably want to look at a put spread. In terms of which ones do we like to look at, we like to look at long-term things. And obviously with the earnings coming out in June, we want to give ourselves at least one earnings period before expiration for our options. So with report coming out in June, the next one that would be coming out would be in September. Since we don't know the earnings date, let's give ourselves a little more time and maybe look at the December puts. So obviously based on our current chart, if you go back to the chart, we're sitting at 265. We think 245 is our bottom. So with that in mind, let's take a look at maybe the 260s. So we would buy the 260 put. Let me close this up real quick. We would buy the 260 put, and we like that because the delta is sitting at 38. Volatility is still a little high. Typically we would wait 2 or 3 days. Whenever a stock disappoints or surprises to the upside and has these moves, it's typically a good idea to wait 2 or 3 days before making one of these trades. But we're degens here, so we're going to dive right in. And we're going to make a recommendation today for Monday. Do a little research on Lulu, see if you like it or you don't. Tell us in the comments below if you agree. But, we're looking at maybe a December, let's say the 260 put, and we would offset that on a spread with the 250 put. Since we feel we have a downside of 245, we might be able to take out that 250. That's going to be a cost of 445. Typically we would buy 5 of these. So a couple $1,000. Out of pocket 445. Looking to make 10. So a little more than a double on this in about a 6-month window. And again, full disclosure, we do not have a position in Lulu. We do not plan to take one. But this would be our recommendation in terms of what if we were to play Lulu. We really don't think it has, it's in a bearish cycle. It's below the 150-day. Let's go back to the chart. Support sitting around 245. RSI is breaking down. Charts breaking down. Sentiment is breaking down. So we feel that it may be a good time. It's not expensive. It might be a good time to get back in around 245. At that point, we would close out our put position, hopefully with a nice profit. But again, full disclosure, we don't have any positions. We don't plan on taking one. These are pure degen plays that we're trying to make. And again, if there's any tickers that you'd like for us to analyze, please leave it below in the comments. We will take the most mentioned tickers and try to do some work on them for you. Again, we're trying to build a nice community here of degens. All thoughts are welcome. All tickers are welcome. It's not just going to be stocks. It's going to be options. It could be crypto. If you have some real estate questions, we can look at those as well too. But obviously, the main play of the channel is going to be try to find some nice degen plays. So let us know what you think of the trade down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Any alternate ideas? If you would play it differently, we're here. We're trying to build a community, so all is welcome. Please be sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications. And for the rest of you, I kind of hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll hopefully come out with a new update for you for some earnings next week and some potential plays as well. All right, you guys have a good weekend. Take care. Please like and subscribe.